Good morning, my name is Staci Lambright and I am with the Akron office space, and today we are here with Jane Christyson with the Northeast Ohio Girl Scouts. She is the CEO and we're here to talk about some of the programs and the future of Girl Scouts and all of the great things that this organization does. So welcome
Thank you.
to our office, and thank you for coming and agreeing to
My
meet with
pleasure.
us. I guess a lot of people know the name Girl Scouts,
Mhm.
but they don't necessarily all know what it entails and what's all involved and what you can do. So we
Right.
wanted to kind of go over some of that today so we
That'd be
can
great.
reach some people. So tell us how you got started yourself with the Girl Scouts.
Well, my my relationship with Girl Scouts really started when I was in second grade, when I joined as a girl member. And I was a Girl Scout all the way through 12th grade, which is the oldest you can be when you're in Girl Scouts.
Okay.
And then after my daughter was born, I was a leader for 8 years. So along with this, my volunteer position with Girl Scouts, I was also building my career, which was all in nonprofit administration and management. So when the
Okay.
opportunity came on to actually use my work experience for a passion that I had for Girl Scouts, it was a great opportunity for me to do both.
Oh, that sounds, I mean, it's a great thing to be able to move from something that you were involved in as a volunteer,
Right.
and now you can kind of lead that organization with the different aspects that you experience
Absolutely.
at the same
You know,
time.
you have your perspective as a volunteer, and I find it very helpful every day to think about what we're doing and what projects we embark on. How is this going to help the volunteers, which is the very lifeblood of our organization? How are we going to help them do their job? How are we going to help them be more successful? How are we going to get them the tools that they need?
You know, I guess maybe we should kind of review for people what ways you can get involved, because this is not just local.
Right.
It's all over the country.
That's right.
How many members would you say?
All over the country. There's
Yeah.
about 1.9 million. And then there's about 59 million alumni out there, too.
Oh.
So it's a very strong organization. Often when I go to speak at a women's group, I ask how many people have been in Girl Scouts, and it's usually the majority of the people in the room. So it's a very
Okay.
powerful experience for a lot of people.
That's true. I can relate myself
Yeah.
to that. When you say that, you ask that question, I guess sometimes we forget about that, like after maybe they're not a Girl Scout anymore,
Right.
or their children aren't.
Right.
They're still Girl Scouts.
That's right,
They're
that's right.
They're still there, and
Once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout, is what we
yes,
say.
and,
Right?
and the things you learn and that what you remember have such an impact. So
Absolutely.
I kind of remind our viewers what the levels are. You
Mhm.
start out, everyone's a Girl Scout, but there's different levels.
That's right. Right. You start
So-
out as a daisy, which, depending on how long you've been in scouting, when I was a scout, there weren't daisies. That's a relatively new
Mhm.
grouping, and that's kindergartners in first grade. And then second and third is our brownies. Then you go to juniors, then cadets, seniors, then ambassadors. Those are
Okay.
the levels.
And then after that, you can be a leader.
You can be a leader, that's right.
If you like.
Right, right. But there's lots of other opportunities as well. We have, ever since the Hunger Games and Brave, every girl wants to shoot at bow and arrow. So we have people that become archery instructors, or maybe they facilitate our high ropes course, or maybe they teach first aid, or maybe they work with socioeconomically distressed girls that maybe don't have volunteers that will come around them, and they might work with an inner city troop or someplace where there isn't a parent that will step up.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't always have to be a parent.
Right.
You could have many different people.
Absolutely.
That want to educate these
Right,
girls
and
do
help
things.
with the troop. You don't have
Mhm.
to take the main role in order to just help with the troop. Sometimes they just need chaperones, or they need people that drive, and we have a lot of people that take on that role as well.
Okay.
We also have a new job that we just started this year. It's actually two jobs. We call them our Pixie Plus Professionals. And Pixies have a long tradition in Girl Scouting. Those Pixies are the little helpers. And they come up a lot in our song and our lore. But anyway, we call them Pixie Plus Professionals. And what we do is we ask women in the community that want to talk about their career. We call them career champions. And we also have women and men that maybe will be trained on how to do one of the badges, do all of the requirements that are involved in a badge. And we make the leaders aware that these people are available, and they can do it on, the volunteers can say, I'm only available on Tuesdays to do this, I'll come to you, or you need to come to me. However they need to do it, we make that clear to the leaders, and then they can take advantage of those volunteers. We're just starting that this fall, so we've got a lot of different people that are really interested in that, because it's a way to help Girl Scouts without making a very high hour commitment. You can really make it fit your schedule.
Okay, that sounds like a really good way to, I guess, keep that interest there.
Yes.
So I guess we should go over some of that, the flexibility of Girl Scouts. We're talking about badges and the different things you learn. So the programs and services that Girl Scouts actually offers, there's such a huge wide range of things that some people just like specialize in one activity.
Absolutely.
If it's a sport, or if it's a dance or something like that. But with Girl Scouts, you're really not limited.
No.
You have what kinds of. I
Absolutely.
guess we should kind of give that range.
Yeah, it's a proven leadership program for girls, and a lot of mothers and parents that I talk to say that it's very important for them to keep their child in scouting, even though they might have a very busy schedule with other activities, because that's where they learn how to be a leader, and they can apply that in everything else they do, whether it's softball or dance or theater. For them to have those leadership skills, that ability to work with others, that ability to look at what they care about in the community, connect that to themselves, and be able to create a process to move forward and solve some of those problems. That can be applied no matter what the girl is interested in. Yeah. So we try to be flexible. We always tell people there's no Girl Scout police. So, if you can't meet every week, you can't meet every month, or you want to meet at different times, that's perfectly fine. We have some troops that meet online. We have some troops that meet infrequently, but then do community service together, or help other girls within the service unit, maybe at World Friendship Day or some of the other things that people do. We have girls that help out at camp because they love that outdoor experience and want to share that with other girls. So it's a very flexible program in order to meet the needs of today's girls.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's so many things out there that people can do, and they might just say, I don't have time to do that.
Right.
Or they might not know the depth of what Girl Scouts can actually do for them.
Yes.
I mean, there's educational, cultural, the outdoor experience, like you said. A lot of people just might think of it as camping only.
Right.
And yes, that's something different, especially for today's girls. They don't necessarily get outside.
That's right.
As
That's
much
right.
anymore.
Yeah. We have a 6-station zip line course at Camp Ledgewood, and a high ropes course, which takes you 40 foot off the ground, as well as low ropes courses that still give you cooperative and leadership learning, but that's on the ground for people that don't maybe want to go that high up. Yeah. But we also have 2 international travel groups that travel internationally every year that girls can join, and a lot of them sell cookies in order to fund their international travel. They might save up for 2 or 3 years in order to make sure they can go on a special trip. So there's goal setting, there's all these opportunities to open up the world for girls that our program offers.
I think it's a wonderful organization, and I don't just say that. I mean, I say that from experience, I guess. But just the camaraderie that you get with being around others, just the skills that you're constantly learning.
Right.
But you mentioned something I should hit on, is Girl Scout cookies.
Yes.
Who does not like Girl Scout cookies?
Everyone loves Girl Scout cookies.
And one of those things that has been more recent, I guess, is the expansion of some of the things that Girl Scouts offers for not just the cookies, but maybe like cookies in a blizzard. They have kind of monthly. I've noticed some of that.
Yeah. There's some corporate tie-ins. So there's some licensing. Most of that comes out of the national office. It just so happens that I'm on the national committee for licensing and partnerships. So I do look at a lot of the possible partnerships that might happen between Girl Scouts and either manufacturers. A lot of it is in the food industry. Some of it's with places like Yankee Candles. We had Thin Mint scented candles that were on the market that did very well. Some of it's licensing with camping equipment. Some of it's with cake mixes. It's a variety of things in order to. It's primarily a fundraising opportunity, but a lot of them also have built-in promotional opportunities as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was candy bars being a test
Yeah.
market at one point.
Yeah. Granola bars.
You can get everything, right? And you know what? It all goes towards such a great cause. You don't always buy a product that's going to benefit something.
Right.
So
Right.
just knowing that,
Right.
knowing what your purchase is going to help, and like you said, largely volunteers
Yeah.
are what make this go round.
Oh, absolutely.
And those people are so connected, and they're
Right.
so involved. They get something out of it themselves. It's very rewarding
Yeah, absolutely.
for the volunteers
Yeah.
to be doing what they
We
do.
have 70 employees in the 18 county area we serve, but 13,000 volunteers. So you can see that that's the bulk of the work. That's where the program is really hitting the road, is through those volunteers, either in a troop setting or in another role that they might do in order to present programming to girls.
Okay, yeah, that's great. You mentioned 18 counties.
Mhm.
That's just Ohio.
Yes,
but
it's just part of Ohio. There's actually 3 other councils in Ohio that have big hunks of Ohio, and then the
Okay.
council in West Virginia has a few counties that are close to their
Southern
council
Ohio,
that they
perhaps.
take care of. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and so I guess some of those, it used to be, wasn't it called the Girl Scouts of the Western Reserve at
Yes,
one point?
there was actually 5 councils about 10 years ago
Okay.
that merged into one council,
Okay.
and that was for administrative reasons in order to make the organization stronger. And now, we have 3 camp properties within Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio that we maintain, 3 service centers and a headquarters that have council shops and resources and meeting rooms and training opportunities for all of our volunteers across the council.
Okay, so lots and lots of opportunities to be involved.
Mhm.
As far as maybe some of the challenges that Girl Scouts have, what would you say might be the biggest challenge to obtaining or retaining maybe members or even volunteers?
Well, there's a bunch.
Like everyone.
Ever since Title IX, when girls will equally participate in sports as boys, that's always been there certainly are a lot more opportunities for girls now than there were when I was growing up. So we're fighting for girls' attention just like other youth-serving organizations are. And then there's a lot more youth-serving organizations that are available. Places like Girls on the Run and other organizations that are also competing for girls' time. But what we know is that we're the largest and oldest organization of our kind. We're the only organization that's girl-led, where the girls make the decisions about what they want to do. So we know that we have a proven program of leadership that we can offer the girls. So that's our strength where we come from. We also encourage our volunteers to make the program as flexible as possible for the girls. And we encourage the girls, if they don't have a troop that fits their time frame, they can participate as an individually registered girl. They don't have to be in a troop situation. If they just want to camp during the summer, they can do that. If they want to do the international travel, they can do that. There's a lot of different ways that it can fit in their schedule, and they can stay members and stay connected to the sisterhood.
Yeah, that's great to know, because some might feel like if they don't have a troop or there's not one near them that they can't do this. But
Right.
that's not true.
No,
They
it's
can-
not. We have a lot of girls that they're individually registered, they're not in a troop. They're connected to the service unit, which is a collection of troops in their area. So when the service unit does, they might do a camp out together, or they might do a World Friendship Day or Powder Puff Derby, whatever they do. They invite those girls as well so they can have that experience on the ground if they're available. It also gives them an opportunity to do our awards program. We have the Bronze, Silver, and Gold Awards,
Okay.
which are our highest awards in scouting. The Gold Award has many scholarships attached to it across the country. If you're entering the military, you enter at a higher rank. So it's a great proven way to show that you have leadership ability and that you can make change in your community.
And great for opportunities maybe for college, when you mentioned scholarships,
Yes.
things like that.
Right.
It doesn't just end in 12th grade for people.
Correct.
It kind of shows the skills they've built. It shows
Right.
what kind of knowledge they have for leadership for their future.
Absolutely. And what I was really interested, my daughter's just finished her college freshman year, and when she went on campus, she called me one day to say, Mom, there's a club called Girl Scouts on campus. So it's all former alumni that help with a daisy troop in the area of their college. They do also community service. So it's good to see that that sisterhood continues and that opportunity to work together to make change also continues.
That's great. So yeah, look for that when you go off to college. You know that you can even look for it. It's out there.
Right.
And when you mention that girls are the ones that make their decisions, it just shows how much growth there's been, because now that there's endless programs and things that can be done.
Right.
One of those, I think, is called the STEM program, which you hear about in some schools.
Right.
Maybe incorporating that, but tell us a little bit more about that through Girl Scouts.
STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, are a group of badges and a group of activities within Girl Scouts that girls can explore. Many times, women right now are only 25% of jobs in the STEM fields, which is some of the fastest growing and highest paying jobs in the country. But girls are not interested in that for many reasons. They are intimidated in a lot of those fields, and we at Girl Scouts have taken up the banner to try to introduce girls at a very young age to these kinds of opportunities so that they can consider them in their long-range plans. I had a wonderful visit with a woman yesterday, a young woman who's in her will be going to her senior year at Georgia Tech as an engineer, and she has even started her own group to assist 4th and 5th graders with the new STEM badges. We just had 23 new badges that were introduced last week by Girl Scout GSUSA that are all STEM related, robotics and citizen science, all kinds of different topics that girls would be fascinated by. But she's created a cohort of her own college friends in engineering to assist with these badges, and came up with activities will help them fail and try again and learn that that's not the end of the world. When you fail, you can pick yourself up and do that. That frustration is part of making change and making success. Yes. So it's so wonderful to see the living, breathing final product of Girl Scouts. She said it was a big part of her formative years. Yeah. It was the reason she went into engineering, and to see her take the lead, identify this problem in young girls and want to make a difference in that is a wonderful part of my job.
Yeah, I can see how that would be very rewarding, because everything that's done is for a purpose. It's not I mean, it's fun, but not just to have fun. It actually leads to other things, opportunities, solves problems, make the world a better place.
That's right. Discover, connect, and take action. So we want the girls to discover what it is, different things about themselves. Connect that to the community. What is it that I know about myself so that makes the community a different place or a better place? And then take action. We teach them how to take action on those problems that they care about in their community, make sustainable change, and that's what the scouting program is all about.
And have the confidence to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have the support and the confidence, the know-how, everything that goes into being successful.
Right. I know that, we mentioned badges, and we're talking about that. Some of them, the traditional thought of what a badge is would be little patches that you sew on the uniform or the sash or a vest. But all of those patches actually represent those skills and those things that they're learning. Right. So it's kind of a reward for themselves as they learn things. Right. And those have recently gone through some changes. There's new badges.
There's new badges, like I mentioned, that are STEM related. We have a lot of new outdoor badges as well, and badges that blend different things, like art in the outdoors, blend certain aspects of our program that we know girls love, and hopefully that will spark them on a new path. So that's what we try to do with all of those programs.
Okay. Well, there's so much to learn and so much to know. Hopefully we can help inspire some of our viewers to look into it for their children, the people they know. Right. You mentioned GSUSA. Right. So our area of Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio is just a small part.
That's right.
Of the bit larger picture, which is across the whole United States. Right,
and in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. Actually, and Girl Scouts are also part of a larger international sisterhood. There's Girl Guides in every country across the globe. Okay. Sometimes they call themselves a little bit different, but we're part of the World Organization of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. And they have 4 world centers across the world that a lot of our members go and visit in order to experience that sisterhood firsthand. and visit with other Girl Guides from all over. So it really does connect girls to the larger community.
Right. And I guess, you don't often think about international things, but more and more everybody is mobile, and they're moving, and they're visiting more countries.
Absolutely.
And now
the
that
world's
that
getting to
reach
be
is there.
a smaller place.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Growing and getting small at the same time.
Right. That's right.
Well, is there anything else we can share with our viewers? And we can share your information too, and how to get involved.
Yeah, to get involved, go to the website. There's a lot of places that say join, or you can look at our opportunity catalog, which is where all of our volunteer positions are loaded in. There's also a listing of troops and troops that have openings, new troops that are forming and troops that have opening. So no matter how old your girl is, there's a place for her. Right. And I just want to say that really it's a proven leadership program. We know that women are underrepresented in many parts of our country, in government and business. Only 20% of elected officials in Congress right now are women, but of that 20%, 75% of them have been Girl Scouts. Every single every single female Secretary of State has been a Girl Scout. Every single female astronaut that's gone on a space mission has been a Girl Scout. So it is a program that works, and it's a program that you should look at for your girl or a girl that you love.
Great. So I encourage our viewers to go to the website and spend some time on it, because there are so many areas to go to kind of see what's available. And that website is
gsneo.org.
gsneo.org. So if any of you are interested to just even see what it's about, please feel free to go there. Call, email, ask questions. I'm sure that there's a way to get involved. And also remember, I believe if your children want to be involved, they don't have to be in their own school system.
That's right.
They can go anywhere.
Right. There's a lot of troops that meet at churches, they meet at people's homes, they meet in different places. They don't always meet after school. If that's a problem for your girl, they can meet on, there's some troops that meet on the weekend. So
right. And if they are involved in other activities outside of Girl Scouts, I think we'd want to encourage them to also try to include that, to be involved in some way, because you're flexible with how much time, how often you want to spend.
Exactly.
But getting the tools and the information is important.
Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
It was great. And please visit their website for more information and get involved today. Thank you.